Today we're talking about Lightroom. You're going to know everything about Lightroom to the best of my knowledge, and you're going to also try your best to work on it yourself. So, going over to my Lightroom app, let's log into my Lightroom app, which I believe you would have done by now. Just let it load. Note that Lightroom uses data, Snapseed does not use data. Now, that's the difference between the two of them. You get? So, let's let it load. I don't know why it's taking some time. Alright, it's open. So let me use let me just import a random picture. Let's import something random. I think most of these pictures here are already edited. Okay, let's try using this picture, which is a random picture. So now, how do you create this? Before we do this, I need to show you how you create something like this, because you might log in and you just see it empty. You get, mine is already having a workspace. You simply come over here, cover this plus sign, create an album for yourself or a folder. Once you create, I get my own work, you get, I simply click on it, and whenever I want to import an image, I go over to this plus sign that is here. This is my plus icon. Click on it. Now we have device, all photos and files. Now mainly I use file. Learn to use file to see it's easier for you to search for whatever image you want. You get, so that is good. So I've imported this image here. We are going to edit it using Lightroom, though I think it's already been edited, but let's still work on it. Now the tools we're going to be using, Auto. Can you see Auto and the rest of that? But I don't usually use Auto. We don't use maxing. I don't use maxing. I don't use healing. I don't use crop, and I don't use the precepts. You get? So if I'm using Auto, this is what Auto is giving me, and it might not be to my test. So I simply go back. Now this is interface of what you need to know. These three I don't use them. Now we have lights. I use my lights, I use my color, I use my effects, I use my details, and I don't use the rest. So take note of these important ones that I use. Now these other two here, this arrow 2 is for redo and undo. Do you understand that? Now whenever I'm through with my work and I want to save it, I simply go over to this share button. Now clicking on it, save to device, and my work is saved, share to, and the rest of that export as. Now export as whatever you want, as JPG, PNG, original, the rest of that, the quality you want. If you want to include watermark and the rest of that, you do that here. Now all these are different qualities you have here, so we'll be taking them one after the other, starting from light. So this is my light. I click on it. We have exposure. Now taking it to my right, I'm trying to brighten it. You get? Taking it to my left, I'm darkening it. So what way do we want this to be? Let's just make it a little dark. You get? Now contrast. Taking it to the right, but making it a little bit dark. Taking it here, but making it white. Contrast. So it just depends on your choice. Everything depends on your choice. You get? Nobody should tell you it should be this, that this is exactly how you use Lightroom. So Lightroom is simply, as you keep using it, you get used to it. You know when to use this and when not to use that. Now highlight is just simply like retaining certain features, whether making it bright or dark. Now if I go left, it's dark, right? You can see that, right? Taking it here is getting up, is glowing. I what the highlights all about. Now shadow here, I don't know if I'm talking too fast. So shadow here simply means there are some black places in her body or around the environment. So taking it to the left and making it darker. Now let's observe her hair. Let's take it back to 0. Look at her hair color. Let's observe what happens when I take the shadow to the left. Can you see it's dark? You understand? Because it's shadow. Now taking it to the right, everything is coming up, popping up. That's it. So I just want it at the right a little, my shadow. You get? We don't want it dark. Now white and blacks, I don't usually use that. White simply means or bringing it out all the white quality. You get. Black simply means bringing out all the black qualities. I don't use these two. I don't need them. So that's all you need to know about light. You get. I don't use curve, but you can use curve to work on the rest of that. For example, I do something like this now, done, and I don't like it. I simply go over to this arrow and click on it, undo. Do you get? So it's as simple as that. Now the next thing you need to know is about this color. This is very, very, very important. Now you can use temperature. You get, it's not needed. I don't need this. This is like it's spoiling my image. You can just only be putting them at very, very small words. Just very, very small. You add it just small. You remove just small. I don't think I even need anyone safe. So let's take it back to, I take it back to our 0. Now tint. You all know what tint is. I also don't use it. I used to change color. And vibrance is what I use. Also the picture is not popping. It's not giving me that quality that I want. You get. It's a kind of way like saying I'm doing saturation. But there's a difference between it. So I can just add a little to it. Saturation is to make it, I don't want it, I don't add any color. Or I want, you get, make it yellowish. But I don't need any of them. I don't use saturation. Only maybe a few times you might see me using saturation. Now, there's what we call color grading. Watch what I do here. For you as a newbie, you might not be using it. Just use the other tools, and later on you can learn more about color grading. You can see what happens here at color grading, right? Can you see what is going on here? Now this is color grading. But I don't need to use it in this picture. Do I need to use it? I don't see use of that in this picture. So, or you can learn to do that at your spare time. Try running experiments with different pictures and the rest. Now, I don't need this because this is spoiling my image for me. So let's undo everything back to normal. Oh, this is my normal picture. I don't need any of those things. You get. Now this mix simply means, for example, let's say the face is too reddish and I don't see reddish. You see, it has changed. See, it will become red. If any part of our body is yellow, it will be affected by yellow. Any part that is going to be affected by green, but I don't need any of that. I have to undo all of them. And we go back to our color, which is effects. Now, very, very important. Effects. Now, in effects, you just need to add texture. It depends on how your picture quality is already. If your picture is not giving you what you want, can you see how it's looking like? But no, I don't need it like this. I simply don't need any of this. It's a way trying to spoil my picture for me. Get? I don't need any of this. Now the haze to the left, we just bring out white color for you. To the right, I don't need any of that either. Bigness to the right, make it white. To the left, it will make it black. We don't need that. Now we also have green. I'm telling you the ones I usually use. Green is just add some dots. Now let's put it in. Can you see those dots? Can you see those dots? Just add dots to it. I don't need these dots. Let us say we just need it very small. Reduce the size and reduce the roughness to be there, but very, very small. Can you see it? Look inside now. That is what green usually do. And that is all we use in this place. Going over to my detail, just to sharpen my image. Let me say the image is not giving me the vibe I want. Can you see it has become sharpened now? Can reduce the sharpness. Maybe it is too much, I'll reduce it. Simple as that. Reduced. My details, I can increase it if I want. If I don't want to increase my details will just pop out the colors and everything. I don't need that. And reduce, we make it. I won't say how reduce we make it. See, now all these things I don't need them at all. So I think the image is okay like this. Do you understand? Now these are all I use as for me to design when I'm editing any picture or editing my design. Now let us see the former picture with this modern with the recent one. You simply press on your screen. Now can you see the former picture? And this is the recent picture. Can you see how this one is popping out compared to the former one? The former one is not popping. Can you see how the former one looks like? And this is after. Can you see how it's popping out? Now that is the power of editing. So it depends on what you are going to be working on, and I hope that is very clear. Now this is all you need to know about Lightroom. It's just all about the user's discretion. The user will work on what he or she seems fit or the best way. You get? So I just need you guys to go on and make your own practice using Lightroom. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.